The Mini 3, the most anticipated drone in the prosumer market, is finally arriving. In the last few days we have seen a series of photos and videos from reliable DJI serial leakers like Jasper Ellens, Deals Drone and Autel V, of the new DJI model with the serial number, probably belonging to a beta tester. These kinds of leaks are a typical pre-launch pattern for DJI models. New DJI models are generally released in November or April, and the Mini 2 was released in November 2020, almost a year and a half ago. At the end of last year, Deals Drone published a calendar of DJI upcoming releases, indicating April 22 as the date for the Mini 3. A few months ago, Autel put on the market the first serious contender in the extremely important segment of entry-level sub 250 grams drones, the Evo Nano Plus. This model has a camera that largely outclasses the Mini 2 in terms of footage quality, and it applies some serious pressure to DJI for the release of an improved model as soon as possible. I have published several videos about the excellent video quality of the Nano Plus. You will find a link to my playlist at the end of this video and in the description below. Nothing is written in stone yet, but barring some technical last-moment issue, short of components or lockdowns, we should see an official announcement about the Mini 3 very soon. About a month ago we saw a picture of the new Mini 3 clearly showing a camera with an aperture of f1.7, much wider than the f2.8 of the Mini 2. In order to compete with the incredible capabilities for night footage of the Evo Nano Plus, which has an f1.9 aperture. At the same time we saw a drawing by Deals Drone confirming the aperture and indicating a sensor size of 0.77 versus the much smaller 0.43 of the Mini 2. The photos and videos just released show the same unusual shape for the new drone, and you can also see a label confirming the f1.7 aperture for the camera, which looks very similar to the one of the DJI Pocket 2. There had been rumors of a 2-axis gimbal partially stabilized by software, but we can clearly see that it is indeed a 3-axis one, although it appears to be unusually side-mounted. There is also much more room around the camera, with a big cut at the top, while in the Mini 2 the camera has very little room around it. It is very likely that it will be possible to shoot vertical video, a feature that is becoming popular due to social medias like Instagram and TikTok. Probably it will also be possible to increase the upward movement of the gimbal, a bit like on the Parrot Anafi. Also, the different design of the front of the aircraft might improve aerodynamics and wind resistance, which is a major selling point for a sub 250 grams model. Something that jumps to the eyes is the unusual size of the front sensor. They are huge. Several people complain about the looks, but frankly I'm not concerned about the aesthetic of something that it is most of the time flying up in the sky. I believe it's much more important to get the job properly done. The reason for such a large bulge in the front sensor is that the same enclosure also hosts the rear sensors, just behind the front ones. As you can see, there is a space left behind the sensor and the fuselage is shaped to accommodate a clear view. There are obviously also downward sensors. The presence of 3 directional sensors is one of the most anticipated upgrades compared to the Mini 2. It will make it much safer to operate the new drone, especially in the case of return to home. And this should also allow some sort of action tracking. If DJI managed to offer tracking at the release, it would be a major selling point, considering that in the Autel Nano Plus, dynamic track is not available yet. Let me know in the comment below which features you would like to see in the Mini 3 and if you're planning to get one. We notice that the battery is bigger and has a different shape, therefore it will not be compatible with the Mini 2. At 2453 mAh, it is more powerful than the previous model at 2250. The extra power will be in part used for the sensors and for other eventual new features, but there should be some extra power left to improve wind resistance and for extra battery life, two of the most important selling points. Obviously, the new Mini will remain below the crucial threshold of 250 grams, as we can clearly see from the label in the photo. Regarding price and different versions, we can only try to guess, since there has not been an official announcement by DJI yet. In several leaked images, we can see that the model is branded Mini 3 Pro. We might think that there will be more than one version of the Mini 3 for sale. We can expect that the actual Mini 2 or Mini SE will remain on the market as a basic model without whistle and bells, at a very affordable entry price, below $400. The only serious contender for the upcoming Mini 3 Pro is the Autel Nano Plus, which retails for around $900. Due to its size, DJI is able to manufacture at a lower cost compared to Autel. It also needs to maintain a gap between the new model and the one above, the R2S, which has a price tag of around $1,000. In my opinion, a Mini 3 Pro at a price below $800, with better wind resistance and a battery life than the Nano Plus, and with tracking capabilities, would be a gigantic success, even if the video quality should be slightly behind the astonished one of the competitor. On the image leaked a month ago, there was a photo containing a remote controller with a built-in screen, similar to the DJI Pro controller, which sells for over $1,000. I'm frankly not so sure about the possibility to add a controller of this kind, as it would very seriously increase the price. Maybe there could be a third luxury version of the Mini 3, a sort of Ultra Pro, a bit like the Mavic 3 Cine. In my opinion, there is a niche for a very high quality sub 250 gram drones, to be sold to professional and semi-professional videographers and photographers who already own something like a Mavic 3, but would use the Mini 3 for shooting in urban environment under more relaxed regulations. These users can easily afford a higher price point. The controller would obviously be a stripped-down, much simplified version of the DJI Pro controller. Click on this link for my videos about the Autel Nano Plus, the main contender of the Mini 3, or on this one to watch my review of the video quality of the Mini 2. Don't forget to hit the like button if you find this video interesting. Thank you.